I am a double diamond. I joined, sorry, I'm nervous, last December on the 9th. We'll back up a little bit. I'm a mom of 3. I homeschool now all 3 of them. At the time, it was just the 2 oldest ones. Very busy life. My husband worked out of town as a subcontractor, and he was gone anywhere from 4 to 7 days a week. So I was basically a single mom, raising 3 kids and homeschooling. Met a person that was an acquaintance of mine at church, and she was doing wraps. I thought it was the biggest diet scam that ever came on the face of the earth, and I rolled my eyes and didn't want to hear anything about it. At the same time, I knew that I desperately needed money. 2012 posed a very difficult year. We lost our only car to getting repossessed early that year. Just so happened my mother-in-law bought another car for herself, and instead of trading in the old one, she let us use it. So we had a loaner car. It was nothing fancy. The overhead things were all ripped out, and we didn't have a radio or anything like that. So I knew that God's calling on my life was to homeschool my kids, and I knew I was exactly where I was supposed to be. But I didn't understand why we were going through the financial situations that we were. Later that year, right after we got the car repossessed, my husband had a head-on collision in Arkansas while he was on the job and tore both rotator cuffs in his arm. So he was out of a job for several weeks. Knowing that we couldn't pay the bills, he had to go back to work hurt just to provide for our family. He worked the rest of the year that way. At the same time, nobody knew what kind of financial situation we were in except for my mother-in-law and father-in-law, because they had given us the car. Everybody else just assumed that we sold everything that we had except for our house because we couldn't afford another payment, and we knew that God called me to be home. So we hid it very, very well. Later that year, we found ourselves in foreclosure from the bank that I worked for 5.5 years. It was very embarrassing. Thank you. Very embarrassing. I live in a very, very small town where everybody knows your business before you do. So there was a lot of people that knew what was going on that shouldn't have. And that was very hard. I actually tried to go look for the foreclosure letter the other day because Joel and Stephanie Dunn used to go to free food places, and they still have their menus. And I told my husband I want to find that letter because I know it's in my house somewhere. I've buried it. Because I want that to always be a remembrance of where we've come from. So I met Rachel at church, and I started asking around people that I knew she had wrapped. I was actually in the process of posting in an online Facebook yard sale group a lot of sentimental things to my family, just trying to get some money to pay my house payment. I had 2 weeks grace period to make a house payment, or we were going to be in foreclosure to where I couldn't save my house. And there again, nobody knew what we were going through, and we wouldn't ask for any money. The same day that I was posting my baby's cradle and things like that, the waterman came to my house and pulled in my driveway to shut my water off. And I had to beg him not to because my husband wasn't home, and I was like, please, I will have money Friday. Please just don't shut it off because I don't have anybody to give me money. So he graciously let me keep my water for a few more days. That same month, I had electric assistance for November and December, but January was quickly coming, and electric assistance is income-based, and they only give you so much. So I knew that my December bill, I was going to have to owe something. At the same time, my kids had no idea, so they were asking for things like Xboxes and DSs and iPads and things that I knew would never be an option, and I didn't even have $15 to make 3 stockings. There was no way. I didn't know what we were going to do. I saw the same day I posted my cradle and things like that Rachel posted she was going to town to sell wraps. This is when it was okay to post in yard sale groups. Don't do that. It's not okay anymore, but at the time it was okay, and I'm thankful it was. I friended her on Facebook, and I saw on her Facebook page where it was public that she made $200 that day. And here I am thinking it's the biggest diet scam. I went ahead and messaged her. And I said, look, I've done this 3 times before. I've been with 3 other network marketing companies, and I've paid hundreds of dollars that I didn't have. How do you make money? How did you just make that cash? What did you put into it? And she told me. And I said, if I never got a customer or distributor, would I ever be able to make money? And she said, yeah, I'll just wrap people. And I said, how much does it cost? And she said, $99. And I said, there's no way. There's no way I have $99. And she said, I'll let you join for free. And I was like, how do you do that? And she said, you need to go find 4 people that will buy a wrap from you today. And she was like, you can buy your kit. And she was just getting started, and she had an extra box of wraps, and she loaned me her 4 wraps up front, and I gave her my 4 back when my kit came in. And I prayed, and I got off the computer, and my husband was still out of town, had no idea what was going on. I prayed, and I just said, Lord, just if this is it, just let the people come to me. And within 45 minutes, I had my 4 people. 3 days later, we had my launch party. 3 of my 4 signed up as loyal customers, and the 4th one signed up as a loyal customer in January, about 3 weeks later. I absolutely ran with this business. I did not wait for a kit to come. I had no blitz cards. I had no money for anything. I didn't even have wraps. I had me, and that was it. So don't think that because you don't have a kit, don't think because you don't have money for blitz cards, you don't have wraps, you don't have product. You have yourself, and you have Facebook. And I booked 7 parties, I think, the first week, and I had no wraps. And I was like, talking to Rachel, I was like, I have no idea how I'm even going to get these wraps. I can't afford them. Well, I had every single person to prepay for their wraps. I got my profit up front. And I did not let anybody know that I didn't have money. I made it a business decision, and I said, look, I'm just getting started. I don't have enough inventory. Is there any way that everybody can pay for their wraps, and I will have them at your party? And it worked, and I just brought it back to the fact of you pay for Mary Kay up front, you pay for 31, you pay for Pampered Chef, you pay for all of these things up front, and then you get your product. Why should this be any different? So I got nervous about the auto ship, and Rachel said, how much is your auto ship? And I figured it up, 5 wrap sales would cover the auto ship. So the first party I did, I put the whole $125 back in my drawer, and I hid it, and that paid for my auto ship in January. I have honestly run my business completely free from day one. I have never put a penny into a box of wraps with any outside money. It Works money has always paid for It Works things. I've never put a penny in my business. I've completely run it for free. Not only did I get to pay my house payment by Christmas, I was able to pay enough for my kids to have a small Christmas, and they knew they were none the wiser. We paid the utilities, got ourselves on track. Within my 3rd month, I was making over $1,000 a month because I busted my butt, and I talked to every person that I knew, and I did not let a no stop me. Lots of people have told me no, and those same people that told me no have come back and either joined my team or become a customer, or I've wrapped them. So I made my hundreds list out of my memory jogger, and probably 85% of those people within my first 3 months were wrapped, or somebody in their family was. Even my oil change repairman, I was like, why would I put his name on this list? And I found somebody in his family, and I've wrapped them. We have had such a huge explosion of success, and so many people have inspired me. Mel and Blair are amazing. Before the new year, Mel and Melinda and Susie came to Jamestown, little bitty town that I live in, and did a training for us because we were growing so quickly. Nobody knew my financial situation until that night, and I just broke down. And Blair, at a later meeting, asked me what I would do with $10,000 a month, and I literally laughed. That mark is not going to be far away from me and my family right now, but Mel is an amazing person. She listens to what God tells her to do, and because of her and God's relationship, I was able to go to conference in January with a paid-for ticket to just the event, and the hotel, gas, food, and everything else was paid for with wrap sales. I went for less than $200 out of my own pocket, well, wrap sale money. But I'm telling you, if I did not go to conference, I guarantee you I would not be standing here today, because as soon as my parties slowed down, as soon as everything stopped being the new it thing and people started finding out about it, I guarantee you I would have quit, because I would have had to go to work or find something else. I was looking for third shift jobs for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just so my husband could watch the kids and I could go work while he was home, because that was our only other option. 6 months into this business, I was able to retire him. He is now home. He's home. We're both full-time home parents. That's been an adjustment because I'm used to being there by myself. But I want you two to know that I look for you, because you homeschool and your marriage is so strong and you build your business together. And Amanda, I look to you because you are amazing at what you do, and you've given me so many good pointers and been on the phone with me for so long sometimes because I need it. And Susan, we started about a month away from each other, but we actually have a funny story. When we started, she would post really good things on Facebook, and I would use them. And she messaged me, she's like, maybe come up with your own words. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, and so, yeah, it was a bad situation that actually turned us into being extremely good friends. She's one of my dear friends in this business now, and we have just come to love each other so much. And I can honestly say that the majority of my best friends in life are It Works family, and these type of things really, really make me happy to come to, and I try not to miss them, because these people are so important to me, and I know they're important to all of you as well, because none of us would be in this room if Melody had not said yes. And that's just it. And I look at my team, and if I wouldn't have said yes, counting loyal customers, there's been thousands of lives that have been changed, and they're going to be tens of thousands more, because this is all I'm going to do. So we're here for the long haul. But I want you all to know that don't let somebody that comes to you and says, I don't have the money, don't overlook them, because there's greatness that lies within them, and you just need to bring it out. Because I hit it with a smile, and it took me a very long time to believe in myself. And I knew I could do it because I'm a red. So I knew that the money was there, and I knew that I could do it. But I had to use my brain a little bit and think and find new ways to make this business work. And it works, and you just have to help somebody that needs it. Because if somebody comes to me and says, hey, I want to try your wrap, but I don't have $25, I don't say, oh, come to me when you get paid. I say, let me help you figure out a way to make money. Are you interested? Will you work? And if they say yes, then we work. And they might work slow and they might work fast, but we work. I never overlook an opportunity to help somebody, because I get little bits and pieces from each person that's a leader in this company, and it's all been cumulative of what I can do, and it's because of each little person helping and pouring back into me, and they don't even know it. So I'm sure, I don't know if I'm up or not, but I can't I can't go anymore. But thank you guys so much. But I just want to share.
Oh, wow. Okay, for the next ones, y'all coming up here, I got tissue.